Now that we've got our circuit built, it's time to program it. So fire up the Arduino IDE, and if you need to, use File, New to open a new sketch. And you should end up with something that looks like this. Now, a little trick. If the text on the screen is a little bit too low, too small for you to easily read, then you can press Control, or the Command key if you're on a Mac, and then the equals sign or the minus sign on the top row of the keyboard. So if you go Control plus, or Control equals, it will zoom in and make the text bigger, and Control minus goes the other way. I'm going to make it about there, so you should be able to see what's going on. So in our circuit, in our program, as always, we need to actually set up our pins. So the first thing we do is we're going to set the pin mode of our red LED, which is on pin 11, to output. Don't forget the semicolon. And we're going to set the pin mode of our green LED, which is on 10, also to output. Again, semicolon. Now, I know that red is 11, 10 is green, but I think I'm going to forget it. So I'm going to change this. Instead of being 11, I'm going to use a placeholder, a variable, a name. So let's call this one red LED. Red. Actually, let's just call it red. And let's call this one green. Now, as it stands, if I press verify, it's going to say red was not declared in this scope. And if it can't see you, if it can't see a variable, it will throw an error like this. Red was not declared in this scope, and it's also underlined green, GRN. So we need to tell it what to do with that. So let's go right to the top, and we're going to define what these terms mean. So it's hash define. We're going to define red to be 11. So every time the software sees the word red, it will replace it with the number 11. Hash define green 10. Now, for reasons best known to the software, hash defines are about the only line that does not need to have a semicolon at the end. So if we press verify now, it should verify with no errors, no screaming orange text. So now it knows that this red is going to be 11 and this green is going to be 10. And if we hover over it, the technical term for these placeholders is macros. And it tells us that this is defined to be, when you see green, it's defined to be pin 10. This is a handy little thing. You can hover over it and it tells you what it means. It's like the macro for output is a 1. So we could replace this with a hex value of 1. But output is easier to read. So in our loop, what we're going to do is we're going to make the green light flash, then the red light flash, then the green light flash, then the red light flash. So we've got to decide how we're going to start. And we're going to start by setting our digital write red high and digital write green low. So our initial state is going to be red on, green off. We're going to wait for a while. Delay. Now remember, delays are done in milliseconds, thousandths of a second. So I'm going to set a delay of 1000 to start with for 1 second. And then I'm going to rewrite that whole thing again. But this time we're going to have the red go low, and the green go high. And we'll set the delay to be 1000 again. All done. So it should turn on the red light, turn off the green light, wait for a second, turn off the red light, turn on the green light, wait for a second. So if we press verify, notice we don't get any errors, which is good. And then we can press upload, and that will send it to the actual board. So let's go and have a look at the board. Here is our circuit. At the moment, it's still got the previous program in memory. If we press upload, we should see the RX and the TX lights over here flash as the program gets transferred, and hopefully everything works. So, pressing upload now. And there we have it. Our red light and our green light are flashing intermittently. One on, one off, one on, one off. Look at the code, and whilst you're writing it, have a look for any patterns in that code, any places where you could simplify it. We're going to come back and start writing some little function to make that code there a little bit more concise, but that we'll leave till the next task. Have a think though, where are the patterns? Where are you writing the same thing over and over? That will give you a clue as to how we're going to write an algorithm and how we might abstract a little bit from this specific task to something more general. So give it a try, and I'll see you in the next video.